We start in Syria, where a car bomb on Monday killed at least 39 people in a rebel-held town in the north. As the daily violence continues, there is mounting pressure to find a solution to the country's bloody civil war. For the very latest, let's go live to CCTV's Callebs, who joins us from the newsroom with more. Sean.
Elaine, tragic ongoing story. It really began as a government crackdown on civil protests back in March of 2011. Since then, events in Syria have violently spiraled out of control. Now, in London, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry made his latest push for peace in the region, but as always, it faces huge obstacles. More and more, car bombs are becoming the weapon of choice to inflict death and terror in a fragmented Syria. Devices were triggered in Damascus, as well as areas controlled by anti-government rebels, killing dozens. More than 2 years of civil war has claimed more than 100,000 lives. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says President Bashar al-Assad must be driven from power.
President Assad has lost the legitimacy necessary to be able to be a cohesive force that could bring people together. There has to be a new governing entity in Syria in order to permit the possibility of peace.
Kerry met in London with the United Nations Arab League envoy Lakhdar Brahimi. The leaders are calling for an international conference within 1 month. Both say the conference is key to setting up a transitional government and stop the bloodshed.
We agree 100% that there is no military solution in Syria. There can be, there will be a political solution if everybody gets together and work for it.
Before all sides start issuing congratulations, here is the sobering news. Bashar al-Assad has made it clear time and time again he has no intention of stepping down. And despite the bloody civil war, al-Assad continues to assert that he still holds sway over a majority of the country. Russia and China have also said that Syria should be allowed to decide its own leadership. At the same time, the International Red Cross is saying it will continue to work in Syria during the infighting. This after gunmen took 7 Red Cross workers hostage over the weekend. Rebel leaders deny involvement.
We, of course, strongly condemn any actions that we believe are terrorist actions, especially when they target international organizations that are working to help and provide assistance to the Syrians in the both liberated or non-liberated areas.
Now, in another angle to this story, shifting front lines in the ongoing civil war are also making work difficult for an international agency charged with finding and destroying all the chemical weapons in Syria. By all accounts, the Syrian government is cooperating. And so far, 5 of 20 suspected sites have been visited. However, some neighborhoods are literally changing hands day to day. So the head of the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons doesn't want his workers caught in the crossfire. Elaine?
Well, and Sean, although the agreement was reached for Syria to hand over its chemical weapons, there was never any kind of agreement regarding violence or peace in Syria, right? I mean, this is something that people knew would be an issue. Yeah,
I think you're exactly right. What we're seeing is really uncharted territory. The OPCW has its people on the ground in harm's way, actively trying to go, in some cases, door to door into some neighborhoods, try to get into these areas where factories have been manufacturing this poison chemical weapons, as well as where the stockpiles are. And they also have to get along with the rebel forces as well. And of course, there's going to be some suspicion among the rebels what exactly is going on here, what are these going to be used for. No one is saying the rebels are throwing up roadblocks and keeping the OPCW from doing its work, but there are concerns out there. And the largest concern, of course, putting these people who are trying to bring peace to that area out there in the middle of an ongoing civil war and trying to find and destroy these weapons.
All right, Callebs live in our newsroom. Thanks.